Please welcome to your first episode of the Papa G podcast with my American dad, Grandma Karn. How's it going, Grant?
Hanging in there.
Hanging in there. I see you have a hat on. I'm not, what does it say?
I'm not retired. I'm a grandpa.
You're a professional grandpa.
You got it.
How does it feel to be a grandpa, Grant?
Great. The baby loves me.
He does. She does.
does.
Yeah. And remember, you've been telling me for a couple years now that oh man, you're just depressed. You just have all this money. You have no meaning. You need a baby.
Mm-hmm.
And when I broke the news that I was having a baby, you're like, this is great news because that's exactly what you need.
You got it.
You never took care of a cat. Never took care of a dog.
Yeah, you had no brother or sister.
No brother or sister.
And your cousins weren't close, so
yeah,
you were by yourself.
Always by myself.
Yeah. And now you got somebody to love.
Yeah.
Little Maya.
Yeah. So, pessoal brasileiro, você manda R$50 no LivePix e o Papa G vai responder para vocês. I just said that if they send $10 on YouTube, we'll answer a question. Mm-hmm. So yeah, if for every question, for every $10, we'll answer their question. Right now, Grant, we have, let me see how many people live do we have. We have 65 people watching you. Say hello to your Brazilian fans.
Hello, my Brazilian fans.
Hey, people are following you on Instagram every once in a while. They
follow me.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, especially when I make a comment on yours.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, when you make a comment, a lot of people come.
Then I get all these emails saying, you're right, So it's nice.
Did you, when you were little, I mean, because you were a black man who made it big in America, you were vice president of a hospital, right? Which one?
Vice president of the hospital.
Which? Cedars?
No, Robert F. Kennedy Medical Center.
Robert F. Kennedy.
19 years.
For 19 years. Did you experience a lot of hate? Because right now in my job, it's people don't believe that I achieved those things just because I'm black and I talk different. So they'd be like, oh no, you're lying. I'm like, hey man, this is my life and this is my achievements. These are the pictures. That's me. And they'll be like, oh, no, you can't. Did you experience a lot of hate from white people when you were when you started making it big in the hospital industry where you were administrator? Is this something new from social media or it always been like that?
Oh, no, this is not social media. This is people, humans.
America.
Yes. When I first got my job at Robert F. Kennedy, my boss, Mr. Shaw, called me and told me he needed me to come to help clean the hospital up and make it profitable.
Okay.
And I said, okay, I will come over there and be on your staff. So I went there as a director.
Okay.
Initially. And I had to deal with people. This was a white community, and the hospital had never had a black person in charge.
We're talking about the 1980s, right?
We're talking about
1970s.
The 75 to 80. Yes. And so I went there on my first day. I met with the mayor of Hawthorne,
here in California.
Yeah, in Hawthorne, California. That's where the hospital was based. Yeah. And he took me to lunch.
Okay, white.
He's white. Yeah, he was the mayor of the city, and he was happy. He greeted me and told me he was happy to hear that I was coming, and he heard that I was a real excellent employee and manager. And so he took me to lunch, and we went to a soul food restaurant that it was his favorite. and they had barbecue, and everybody knew Joe when we walked in. Everybody, Mayor Joe, Mayor Joe. We
Yeah,
sit there and
yeah.
ate. It was very nice, and we had a nice lunch. And then he told me, he said, "Well, I wanted to meet with you because I know you're coming to a new area that you've never worked in, and that I just wanted to tell you some things that you're gonna
And what did he tell you?
that was going to happen." He said, "Well, I met with some of your employees that you're going to be they're going to be reporting to you,
Right.
and the one of your employees, I won't give any names. I don't want any because some of these employees probably are still alive."
Right.
Anyway, I said, "Okay," and so he said, "One of your employees that's high up, she comes to board meetings, and she the board doctors' wives love her."
Right.
And so she met with me last week and told me, he said, "Joe, guess what?
I have a nigga boss.
I'm going to be reporting to a nigga."
Oh no.
And he said, I was shocked,
Wait, she didn't want to be reporting to a nigga.
period. No,
No, not at all.
no.
So the mayor had to interfere.
No, he was just telling me this is what I had to face when I got to the hospital,
Oh, sheesh.
And I said, "Fine, Joe." I said, I have no problem with that. I said, I've dealt with racism all my life, and I can deal with any employees when I get there. So, and he told me that the hospital has been losing money over hand over foot, and we bringing in all these new people. Your boss he's the new CEO.
Right.
He's bringing you. He bought the director of nurses. He bought the head of housekeeping and all these people over to the hospital to work. And he's going to make changes here. So he said, "But I just want you to know because you seem like a really nice person. And so what you're up to." So that's how it started with that. So
Even before stepping into the place,
into the building,
people already,
I knew what was going to be happening.
because you're black.
No, because when Bob hired me, he told me, he said, you're going to experience something different over here than you've had before. I said, "Bob, I can deal with anything." And he said, "I know you can. That's why I'm bringing you over here." And so I started working, and I met my staff. I first got there, I met the secretary, and she was very sweet. Her name was Barbara, and she was very nice. And so she told me, she says, "Well, I'm so happy to hear you're coming," because he said, "We need some leadership here." And I said, "Yeah, I'm here to make some changes." And so she told me a few things too about the racism and stuff like that. And she said, "But I just hope you'll stay." I said, "Oh, you don't have to worry about that. Bob called me and I will be here." So I started, and I met with the administrative team because I was part of it. And Bob was the head, and then Pat was the head of the nursing, and I was there for quality and some other departments, medical staff office and things like that. And so I met all my employees except for the one that made
The lady.
the lady, yeah. And I called, as I'd meet with any time employees, I told them, "I wanted you to come to my office. I want to meet you. I want you to tell me what you do, what your problems are, and what I can help you with."
Right.
So one by one they came. One was the infection control coordinator, and he came in and said that what he did and what his problems were. And he said, "I really never had a boss that really I had to report to." And he said, so you're new for me." And he said, "I'm not sure I'm going to stay at the hospital." I said, "Well, why wouldn't you stay?" He said, "Well, I used to do things on my own." I said, "Well, there's changing now, and you're going to be under my leadership. So I said, I hope you stay. But if you decide to go, then I understand." So he was the one. The other people were very nice, and they came and told me what they did, medical staff. She was the last one, and so she didn't come. So I told the secretary, call her and ask her why she hasn't been here to work. Is she on vacation? No. Well, where's she at? So she called her and told her that she needed to come in on Friday. I said, we're having Miss America's coming to visit us, and we need to get this office and things cleaned up because this is Vanessa Williams who's coming to visit. She had been just nominated as Miss America.
Like in 1989, 1990. Yeah.
You know, it was earlier than that. It was in this. Oh, yeah,
When
probably.
did Vanessa Williams become Vanessa Williams? Was she the first black Miss America?
She was the first black Miss America.
Oh no, Miss USA 1984.
Yeah. And yeah,
Yeah.
80s. And she was coming to visit as the queen.
She didn't look black then. She was kind of like whitewashed.
No, she was black. There was no.
Wait, is
She
it
was
the
light
same?
skinned.
Is it the same Vanessa Williams we're talking about? Yeah,
Yes.
it's Vanessa Williams.
Yes.
So she came to your hospital.
No, she was supposed to be. Bobby told me she was coming to visit us and make sure everything was fine. And so I'm new there. I'd only been there a week. And so I told all the other directors that were reporting to me what they needed to do to get ready for that. And then I needed this last one to come in because the medical staff office was complaining about the director not doing certain things for them that they needed, their educational hours and all that. So I said, she needs to come in to meet me tomorrow.
Okay.
And if she can't, then she needs to start looking for a new job.
Oh no.
Yes. You know, so she called her and she said, she'll be in at 9:00. I said, fine. So the next morning, she came in and she went to the main office and I was right across the hall. And then Barbara came over and said, is she ready? She's here. I said, you can send her in. So she came in and she wasn't smiling. And I told her, have a seat. I said, Grant McCarran. I got up and, and she said, she sat on the edge of the desk. On the edge of the chair.
Right.
I said, well, make yourself comfortable. She said, I'm comfortable. I said, so do you have any questions of me or tell me a little bit about yourself? She said, well, you should know you're going to be my boss.
Mm-hmm.
I said, well, no, I don't know that much because Bob didn't tell me about the employees. And so she said she had been there for a long time. She said she was very close to all the board members and all the doctors. And she provided them with things that they needed. I said, okay.
So she's trying to kick you out from day one.
No. So then she says to me, why was it necessary for me to come in?
Yeah.
Why did you really want to meet me?
Why?
I said, because I'm going to be over this department and I need to know a little bit about it. And
Right.
I said, I even have been in your office. I said, your door has been locked. And so I didn't want to get the master key and go in. So,
And you're making more money than her.
Well, that wasn't about, I was just brand new employee. I was a director. I was the director over her. And so she says, well, I kind of run this place, as far as with the doctors and stuff like that. She said, they look up to me for things that they need and whatever. I said, well, one of the reasons I wanted you in here, because I said, I got a call from about 5 doctors wanting to know where their education hours, where have you been? Why haven't you done anything? And so I need to know, are you on vacation? She said, no, I needed some time off. I said, and who approved it? She said, well, I don't have anybody approving me. I can do what I want to do. And I said, well, that's going to change. I guess I'm your new director. And when you get ready to go on vacation, I need to know who's going on vacation and who's going to be taking care of the office. I said, well, one thing I do know, Barbara's in there and she's doing an excellent job. And she was like, so she said, well, is there anything else you want from me? I said, well, I would like to know what your needs are. She said, I don't have any. I'm fine as I am. I said, well, can I come and see your office? So she said, okay. And so we got up, went to her office. She opened the door and I was shocked. It was a pig pen.
What's a pig pen?
So nasty.
Oh, it was dirty and nasty.
things all over the floor.
And you'll be like, bitch, get this.
No, I didn't. No, you don't teach that.
Just one thing. Somebody just sent you $70. This is like the work. Somebody just sent you $70 online.
Okay.
So his name is Marlon. Say what's up to Marlon. Thank you.
What's up, Marilyn? Thanks.
Marlon Ferreira.
Thank
He
you.
asked you a question.
Yes.
How do you think senior people can contribute more actively to society? Volunteering, entrepreneuring. Congrats for the baby. So Marlon lives in Canada. He's one of our fans. He just sent us $70. Just to participate on our show. That's how we make money. People, there's more money there too? Oh, there's more people who send money. Two. So answer Marlon's question first.
Well, seniors, I'm a people person.
Right. So how can you, as a senior, contribute to society? You volunteer, right?
I volunteer. For 50 years, I have worked in hospitals.
Okay.
Making sure the quality care of a patient is perfect.
Right.
When the patients have problems, they come to me.
To you. Okay.
When there's issues in the hospitals, they come and talk to me, and I listen to their problems, whatever their problems is, whether it's a doctor, that's their problem, the administrator, or the nurses in the department, or any other employee. We sit down.
So you're like the customer service.
I'm a customer service for patients.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you volunteer at a hospital.
Yes.
To protect patients' rights nowadays.
Well, at that time, I was working at a hospital to protect the patient rights.
Then, or about there, he's specifically asking about senior people. How can senior people contribute more actively to society?
Well, I contribute right now. I'm working at I'm a patient in the hospital myself.
Right.
I'm now on their quality committee.
Okay.
And I'm on the doctors committee and the physicians committee.
Okay.
I mean, the physicians and the departments committee. So when I'm in the hospital as a patient, I'm watching what happens to patients because I know what their treatment should be. And when I see something wrong, I call it out. I let the nurses know. They won't do anything. I talk to the doctors about it. If they won't do anything, I know where to go to make it done, get it done. I mean, there's all kind of things we can do. And me being working in the hospital for all these years,
right,
I know who to call. There's a Joint Commission on Accreditation of Hospitals. You give them a call and say, guess what's happening in this hospital?
You're a snitch.
They'll come. It's not.
You're the snitch.
It's not a snitch. It's telling you what's true, what's really happening. So you can call them. You can call the State Department of Health. They will come in immediately for a complaint. So when I see something happening in the hospital, I voice the complaints, and if they don't resolve them, then I know who to call.
Okay, that's your case. Because you have so much experience in the hospital world. You volunteer at the hospital. What about other senior people? What can they do to feel meaningful to society? I'm sure he's asking about it because he has senior people in his family, and
they need to get involved.
Involved in what?
Okay, so the CMS, which is the Medicare, sends me every quarter information regarding the hospital. They want to know, are the doctors working right? Do they talk to you? Do they tell you what's going on? And I fill out the forms and I send them back.
Okay.
Every quarter, I send them back to the state or to the federal government. They sometimes call me on the phone and they quiz me on what's going on. And I tell them honestly, because why would I lie? Because I'm trying to save patients' lives. And so I let them know that if patients, when they get these questionnaires, they need to send them back because nobody knows what's really going on except the patient, and so I'm a patient advocate. I'm an advocate for the patient. I'm an advocate for the nursing staff. When I see something going on that's wrong on them, I'm an advocate for the doctors. If they're doing something wrong, I will let them know. So they need to correct it. If they don't correct it, there's ways to go after doctors. So it's all about life-saving and treating patients with dignity and respect. And when you volunteer at the hospital, you can help in that process.
Okay.
So volunteering in the hospital or in any other business, you can not only develop.
That's how like older people will feel more meaningful just by volunteer at a hospital.
Yes, or any place. I mean, if you volunteer, there's perks that you get, the dinners that you get.
You do?
Oh yeah. I mean, you could volunteer right now as a, person that want to volunteer, and they ask you where you want to work at in the hospital, and they will set you in that area, and you can help the patient become better.
Okay, good. We have another question. Rafael Medina. Rafael sent $10. Say thanks to Rafael.
Thanks, Rafael.
He's asked, hey, Ryan and Grant, ask him about what he expects for the next election and handwork jobs. Hugs from Orlando, waiting for Maya's first time in Disney. What do you expect for the next election in America? Do you think Biden is going to go against Trump? Kamala is going to go against DeSantis? What's America 2024?
Okay. So this 2024 is a real bridge that United States has to pass over.
Okay. Why is it so hard?
Well, we have, I won't call the parties, but people know based on what they read in the paper or what you guys look at on social media, that we have two political parties, the Republicans and the Democrats.
Right.
The Democrats are in power now,
okay,
with Biden as president.
Yeah.
The Senate is Democratic only by a few points.
Okay.
By a few votes. So they do need the Republicans' votes to help them. The Republicans are short on votes too in the House, and they need Democratic votes to pass anything.
Okay.
And so basically, it's a battle going on right now because you've got we on hold?
No, keep going.
Okay. It's a battleground. You've got Trump running, and he's got all the things going on with him. And I won't go into the details of that. All you got to do is read the news.
You don't like Trump?
I'm
people in Brazil.
It's not that I don't dislike.
Hates Trump.
No, I do not hate Trump.
One of the best things.
That's your view.
One of the best things in life is like just sitting with Grant and be like, hey, what's going on with Trump? He's like, rah, 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 rah. You don't like Trump?
It is what you see it. I mean, the lies.
Yeah. The fake news.
Fake news.
He's racist.
Where did this all come from?
He's racist?
No. Where did all this come from? How long has the United States really been in this predicament where fake news media is counteracting real loyal people?
Okay.
And Trump is preaching what? Fear, hate, immigrants. I mean, come on.
So what do you think next? Our Trump, Bolsonaro is ineligible for the next election. Mm-hmm. Trump is still eligible. So you think the Republicans are going to put Trump in, or like DeSantis?
Well, he's popular. He talks a good game, like he did when he was on TV. The Apprentice,
Okay, you're fired.
And that's
You're fired.
Yeah, and that was all kind of fake stuff too,
You think so?
Oh yeah, it's fake.
It was all like made up.
It's made up. They get certain stars and all that, and and he sat there and he said, "You're fired," and people got excited by it, But now, what is he preaching?
unity, right? Equality.
No.
What is it
He's
preaching?
preaching about make America great again.
Yeah.
Well, America's always been great. And we don't need Trump to make America great again. What he's done when he got in office, he didn't make it great again.
No.
He made it great for the wealthy, but he did not make it great for just common people.
Okay.
You know, and so again.
So who's gonna be on the Democrat side? You think Trump is gonna be on the Republican
Biden
side?
is running, you know, and
I don't think Biden is ready.
Biden,
He's too old.
No. Age has
And
nothing
his
to-
image is way down. So like they're gonna find someone else to run.
That's your opinion.
Like the guy from California, Gavin Newsom.
That's your opinion.
What's his name?
Gavin Newsom, yeah. I would vote for him in a minute.
You would vote for him?
Of course he would. We would.
If it were for primaries, Newsom or Biden, who would you go for?
Well, all I'll say at this point is that Biden is the one in there now. And until
You think that's like set in stone?
And until he
100%.
decides he doesn't want to run anymore.
You think that's set in stone, even though like his son is a fuck up and all of that?
His son is just somebody got on drugs and made mistakes.
Okay.
How many people in America, sons in all these states, have got on drugs?
Right. A lot of people
and made a
on drugs.
mistake. And some of them died. Some of them came back. Biden's son seems like he's paid all his debts.
So they're using Biden's son against him.
Oh, the Republican Party is using Biden's sons against him.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, the news media, they're trying to find something that compatible to what Trump has done. And what Biden's son did has nothing to do with what Biden is doing. Biden has did great job in the White House. He's got all these things that he's accomplished. He's accomplished more than most presidents in his term so far.
Think so?
Yes, he's put more blacks into power. He into judgeships and stuff like that. So I mean, Biden has his issues, but he's trying. He's trying to work with the people. He's trying to do things that he feels that America needs. I mean, we have voting rights. One party's for it. One party doesn't want to be bothered with it because they don't want it to be equal. They want it to be where they in power. You got the guns. I mean, people are dying every day on the streets. These kids are getting killed. And here we are in getting ready for Christmas, and we're trying to help. We have two wars going on, you know, one Ukraine and one in Israel. We're working with that, trying to keep the peace, keep it peaceful so that it doesn't go any further than it is. And yet and still, and then we got the gate,
Canal.
you know, where the people are, the
Suez.
immigrants.
The immigrants.
Yeah, the border.
Yeah.
So the border has always been broke.
Right.
What the people in Congress should be doing is not worried about Biden's son or what he did back in the days and see can they hook it to Biden. They need to be working on the damn border. I mean,
wait, you think you're against immigration then? So like,
no, I'm not against. They need to fix the immigration because it's not working properly. People are coming here and they can't get through. You know, one party wants them to go back to their own country. The other party is trying to figure how they can get them in here. And
they're
it's just not
busing them to New York and like busing them to all the other
Republicans
states.
are busing them. Yes, they are
get
busing
buses and they send all the immigrants to
the and so that
blue states.
Yes, so that's a problem. So,
however, Grant, I really think America needs these immigrants.
They do need
because nobody wants to work.
No,
like every restaurant I go, there is a sign outside like, "Hey, we're hiring."
Yes,
we're hiring.
And why is that? Because
there's not enough people to work.
Well, but
the Americans don't want to work. Like Marcus.
Then what if we did this? What if we did this? Everybody that comes in that's eligible to work, whether it be a migrant or whatever, when they come in, instead of holding them at the border, not letting them
just
through,
give them a social security number.
No, give them a work permit so they can work on the farms, where in industry.
It's a good idea.
I mean, in LA, all the restaurants, they need people.
They do need people.
And I mean, we go in the restaurants and we're waiting an hour and a half for dinner.
Yeah,
And
because
why?
there's all understaffed.
And here we got people at the border sleeping in silver bags because they can't get through, and they're there for months. So, I mean, if the Congress was smart enough, they would take this and set up a program where these people could come in as immigrants. And yes, there's good people coming in and there's bad people coming in.
Okay.
And so you got to figure out who's good and who's bad, but then give them an opportunity to make life. They can pay taxes just like anybody else. They can live a normal life as the immigrant, but instead we're fighting back and forth. The Republicans are doing everything in the House, but really take care of the United States business. They don't want to deal with votes. Children who need, the mothers who need money to help them when they go to work so the kids can have child care and all that.
Right.
That was voted out by the Republicans just recently. It was going along good, but then it came to the end and they were supposed to re-vote for it.
Right.
They voted no. Voters' rights. Why would we have to be messing with all the voter stuff? If voter rights was in, it would be slam dunk.
What do you mean voters' rights? Can you explain that to me?
Voter rights, if the bill was passed by Congress, everybody in America could vote.
Like everybody, like even the immigrants?
No, immigrants can't vote. They're not United States
But who
citizens.
else? But everybody can vote.
Everybody can't vote.
No, why not?
In the southern states, in some of the southern states, you can't vote. I mean, they blackball you in your area, so you can't vote. They're trying to hold it up.
The district. They get these districts together.
The states are playing the game. Yeah. And then you see these Republican states are, I mean, when Obamacare came in, I was laughing because I would go to meetings and they would talk about Obamacare, and I would go to these big meetings where all these people were at, and they were talking about they just hated Obamacare and it's going to ruin the country. And I said, well, what kind of insurance do you have? And they would tell me. And I kind of laughed. I'm thinking to myself, well, they don't realize that's Obamacare. The states changed the name of it so it wouldn't have Obama.
Have Obama name on it.
Yes.
But everybody is like enjoying all the.
And now it's
people are loving your talk. People are surprised that you're left wing. Are you left wing?
No.
Yeah, you're left wing.
No, well, I'm in the middle. I'm in the middle.
You're in the middle.
I'm kind of in the middle.
No, you're extreme left. You're a communist.
I'm pro-abortion.
Grant, you're extreme.
No, I'm not.
You're 100% left wing.
No, I'm not.
You're like communist. You're like Bernie Sanders.
No.
What? Tell me like some features that you have on the Republican side. For you to be in the middle, you need to like something on the Republican side.
Well, right now there's not too much to like.
So you're extreme left.
No, if they're not doing it,
Grant, for you to be in the middle, you need to have something from this side and something from that side. You are 100% left communist. You don't like anything the Republicans do, so you're not in the middle.
You're talking about a left communist coming in. I mean, you need to knock that one out.
You're not a communist.
Absolutely
like Bernie
not.
Sanders. You wouldn't vote for Bernie Sanders.
I would vote for Bernie Sanders.
He's a communist.
He's not a communist. He's an independent.
No, he's a Democrat, but he likes communism. He's
Ryan, you can't make that assumption on that man. No.
Okay, so why do you consider yourself middle, not left? Center, not left.
Because I'm for the people.
That's left.
That is not left. What do you mean it's left?
If you're left, if you're liberal, you're for the people, not center.
I'm for the people. No. I'm not left. I'm Democrat. Yes.
Have you ever voted for Republicans in your whole life?
No.
Never.
No.
Nixon.
Absolutely not.
You don't like Nixon?
No. When I was in United States Navy, I was one of the anti-Nixon's crowd because
Really?
of because,
So like you were celebrating the Watergate scandal. You're like, yeah, get that nigga.
no. Can we watch our language? Okay, please.
Okay.
Yes. No. When I was in the Navy and went to Vietnam, I was on the ship.
Okay.
And I was only in Vietnam for 30 days because our ship was there because it was right at the fourth year of the war, I think, and we were thinking about bringing the troops home. And so
So you didn't get any like down troops, any wounded troops?
Any
you did.
what?
Any wounded troops, like people who were hurt from the war? Did you actually
we had
get them
people wounded
in the ship?
On the ship, yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, they got
see like
back to
people
the ship.
without legs and shit like that.
I served. I flew to the USS Midway. I was on the USS. I can't remember the name of it, but the doctor got sick on the ship. They flew me over to the USS Midway to take over the sick bay, and I was in charge. And they flew me my helicopter, which I hate to fly, and I held on to everybody in the flight because I can't stand to fly. Anyway, they flew me over to USS Midway. I was there for approximately almost 2 months, and I took care of all the Navy and the Marines that were on the ship. And I ran sick bay every morning. I took care of all the sick, and on things that I needed a doctor, I could call and talk to a doctor, and they would tell me what I needed to do when there was, patient was really in big trouble. Now, I was a medic, and so we knew how to take care of patients. We were more like nurses, but a little bit more training. And I also. I was in Philippines for, I went to Japan.
Hey, these people, a lot of Trump supporters and right wing people, they're like talking shit to you on the chat.
That's fine. I mean, they can talk. I mean, we say what we feel. We have our rights to say what we want to say.
Oh, that's freedom, America. Like you have freedom of speech. Yeah.
I mean, does Trump not say what he wants to say about whoever he says?
Does, he doesn't go. In our country, you can't really do that because you're gonna go arrested. If you say like your opinion, you go arrested.
Well, this is my opinion,
Right.
I'm not a book writer, so I'm not saying, and granted that's what, but
se você quer mandar uma pergunta pro Velho Grant, você manda super chat aqui no chat ou LivePix no link do chat que o Cauã não botou, ou nesse QR Code aqui em cima. I just tell him, like, if you want to send a question to Papa G, send the money through the link right there. They said, no, what?
I don't need to hear that. I mean, go on, keep on.
No, but like, that's interaction. That's interactive. They send money to ask questions, like the guy who sent about volunteering, the other guy who said about the elections. So, yeah, but most of these people are Trumpist. They're asking, why are you pro-abortion? Why are you pro-abortion?
Because I think every woman or every family has the right to make their own choices and own decisions. Why would we listen to a governor,
right,
or a senator?
Rights over your body, right? It's part of freedom.
How would they feel if we as citizens start asking questions about their rights, what's happening in their families, abortions and stuff like that? Is that happening in their families too? Yes, it's happening. But they are here now trying to make a decision. I mean, even when they try to make decisions on healthcare, I mean, they're not doctors. They can't make decisions that doctors make. And here we are with some candidates talking about what we just do. They're now getting into education, what we should be doing for education. Who gave them the book to say that they're right on what they say? When they can't even run the government.
Right.
I mean, it's kind of sad, isn't it?
It is sad.
It's sad. So again, like I said, United States, 2024 is going to be.
Grant, you're almost a political analyst. How do you know so much about this?
Well, I campaigned for Obama. You know, I campaigned for Obama.
Yeah, but that was during like a couple months of your life.
2008 to
2 or 3 months. Before the election. Or were you involved way before the election?
Yeah.
The election was in November 2008. Were you involved way before?
No, I got involved in 2008. And then I was really involved on the second election.
Okay.
Yeah, on the second one,
Obama 12.
I actually even went to Las Vegas to pitch him in Las Vegas, and they kind of laughed at me when I came there with all the Obama stuff on. And they asked me, they said, "Oh, you coming here to gamble?" I said, "No, I came here to campaign for Obama." And they looked at me. These are all Republicans on the.
Remember when we went to Paris and you were wearing Obama stuff and people loved it?
Yes, we got a lot of attention, didn't we?
Right.
Yeah. So
what's Obama doing nowadays?
He's living his life as the ex-president.
What does he do? He does speeches.
He does. He lives his own life.
He writes books.
I got his books. He's got good books. He does what any ex-president does. He kind of stays low because he doesn't want to get involved with all the politics going on right now. I mean, it's pretty big. I mean, I'm sure when the campaigns start, Obama will be there campaigning for Biden or whatever Democratic person.
You would think the election at the end of the day is going to be Biden against Trump?
Well, I would hate to see it come out that way again.
But you think it's like leaning that way?
Well,
or you think like there's more probability for being Biden against DeSantis?
No, I don't think that'll happen.
Who else is running?
It's the
Trump, DeSantis. Who else?
And the lady,
Elizabeth Warren.
No. I can't think of her name.
Ann Coulter.
No, she's Republican, Ryan. You don't.
Ann Coulter is Republican.
She definitely is not running for president.
You don't like Ann Coulter?
I got my opinions on her. I can't think of who the other lady is on there, but
who's running for president? Republican.
I don't really watch. I watch some of the Republicans debates, but not all of them.
2024.
She's from North Carolina.
So we got Chris Christie.
She's a woman.
Wait, Chris Christie? Really?
He's New Jersey.
You mean Ron DeSantis?
Mm-hmm.
Ambassador of United Nations.
It's a woman, Ryan. There's
Governor of South Carolina. Running. You mean Nikki Haley?
Nikki Haley, yes.
She ain't gonna win shit. Asa Hutchinson. Never heard of. Governor of Arkansas. Asa Hutchinson. Vivek Ramaswamy. Like chairman of asset management.
These are all Republicans, Ryan. They're running against each other right now.
That's like an Indian guy. Like,
they're running against Trump.
Donald Trump.
Yes.
So we got Donald Trump, Vivek, Asa Hutchinson, Nikki Haley. Nikki Haley has never been executive anywhere. She was a governor of South Carolina between 2011 2017.
And she worked on.
Do you think she was an ambassador to United Nations? But that's like equal to nothing.
Under Trump.
That's equal to nothing. Like United Nations is bullshit.
No, it's not.
Grant, that's a bullshit job.
Ryan, you don't know.
She ain't fit. She can't like Trump is much better than him. Than her.
You make comments about people or you don't even know nothing about I just told her name and now you're talking about what she does.
I'm reading her CV right here. Like,
and what are you reading it from?
From
the internet.
From the internet.
Yeah. And you believe all that stuff on the internet.
Well, she's an ambassador of United Nations. For example,
she was ambassador.
Ron DeSantis, he's good enough to be a president because he's a governor of Florida.
No, he's not good enough to be the president.
He was a U.S. representative.
He's too radical.
Governor of Florida. Chris Christie, governor of New Jersey for 8 years.
He's only running to
U.S. Attorney District for New Jersey, so he has experience. Ron DeSantis has experience. Nikki Haley, being an ambassador to the United Nations, that's not experience. You know what I'm talking about? So
she's already
out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people, who do you think is gonna like go forward on this?
Only 3 people that are gonna go forward right now. That's Trump, Nikki Haley, and
DeSantis.
DeSantis. Yeah.
So Chris
And she's-
Christie's out. You don't think Chris Christie has?
Christie is running for a purpose. He wanted to let the world know about Trump. So he's not.
So he's like a decoy. Like he's just there.
No, he's not a decoy, but he's telling the truth about America. That if Trump gets back in office, what's America going to be? A dictatorship?
So
or
Chris Christie doesn't like Trump.
See, that shows you don't read the, you depend only on social media. You never watch the news.
So you think for the Democrats, it would be better to have a Chris Christie kind of guy on that side?
No, I'm not saying that. No. Okay. I mean, there's not. I mean,
so we're down to 3 people: Nikki Haley, Ron DeSantis, and Donald Trump.
Mm-hmm.
If Kamala Harris runs on the Democrat side, it will be interesting for the Republicans to put Nikki Haley out there.
If Trump puts her in there, I mean, he's not going to put her in there though.
No, but he's
not going to put her in there. He's going to put somebody, one of his cronies. He's not going to put her in there.
Oh, okay. So if Trump becomes ineligible, he's gonna get a crony to like be right there.
Well, we have to wait.
And DeSantis wouldn't count as his crony.
We don't know what's going to happen. The trials, there's all these trials going on. Everything's keep on pushing forward, you know, not getting completed. So we won't know until we get into 2024 what's going to really happen. But like I say again, and that's all, and I'm going to end this conversation because you talk about things that you're not really sure on. And so you're making comments.
So you're calling me a fake news?
No, you're a typical
Republican.
No, news media person
Exactly.
that makes comments, but you don't. You got to have the backup. You know, if there's no backup for what you're saying.
Hey, these people are saying you're very, very, very stylish.
Well,
and they're barely seeing your clothes because like it's the camera is closed down right here, but they're saying like you're very, very stylish.
Anyway, let's go back. Let's end the United States thing. Okay, so this is a pivotal vote for us this 2024.
Right.
We either want to be a democracy or not. I think that most people in the United States want to stay where we are as a democracy. We just need to clean up the Congress, the Supreme Court, all that.
The Supreme Court too?
All stuff needs to be cleaned up. Yes, yeah. I mean, there's things going on that shouldn't be going on, and they're not really listening to the people. You know, so every state needs to get busy with their state election stuff because this is going to be a hard-run race. You know, my freedom. I've been free to do what I wanted to do as a teenager, you know, while my parents couldn't do it as a teenager. They couldn't do things that I could do. My brother, who's a doctor, he couldn't do things that I was able to do because of the generation after generation changed how America is, and we become more free to do things. Now we're going back to one party who wants to keep things clean and or in the economy good, the democracy running, gun laws placed and put in place. I mean, can you believe kids are dying every day and we can't get around the gun laws? That people are voting for the rights of guns and not the rights of their kids. I mean, unbelievable. It's just unbelievable. So this year, all things should be on the ballot. Voting, women's rights to make their own decisions. Men make theirs. So why shouldn't women be able to make their own? No better than men, okay? A lot of stuff like that's going on, and we got to clean it up. And America is for the free, and for the all these immigrants that came from years, and now all of a sudden the school education has to be controlled. Why is politics getting into education? Let the school board run the schools.
Yeah.
And the parents.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we don't need the governors. We don't need the senators to do that. Let them take care of their own families in their own states.
All right, let's talk about good things now. People are asking, how did you learn how to dress? Because were you a model back then? Well, like they're asking you, like why you're so stylish.
I'm not stylish. I just dress like the way I feel like dressing.
Yeah, but do you get magazines to see how people are dressed, or like go on Instagram or Pinterest?
No.
Because every time I show you on my stories, people are like, "Hey, your dad knows how to dress. He's very stylish."
Well, you just need to be able to dress currently. You know, when I
right now, your favorite store is Zara nowadays. So you like Zara now.
Zara was one of them.
Yeah. What else?
Zara was one of them. I shopped downtown Los Angeles.
You mean the garment district, where all that trash area right there?
No, you need to know where to go in the garment district.
Like
Santa Fe Streets is.
You mean Skid Row right there, where all the crackheads are? The garment district, that whole area right there. Do you shop there?
Yes. There's a jewelry mart.
Have you ever been there to the garment district, downtown LA? Os cracudo mora. You never been there?
You need to go there. You'll have a ball. Yes. Now there's good shops and there's bad shops. You have to know how to learn how to pick out the clothes.
Oh, we gotta take him to Sloss and Swap Meet.
Yeah, that's a good place to go.
But people are gonna think he's white.
No,
he's half black, half Latino.
He looks like Brazilian.
Oh,
to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's got the features.
He got the features, yeah, and the mustache. So yeah. He could pass as a Latino. People are not gonna jump him for being white at the Sloss and Swap Meet.
Oh no. Everybody goes there, Ryan.
The white people?
Yes.
Not in our time.
Yes.
When you used to take me there in 2005 and 6 for shopping?
Yes. Everybody goes there.
Never seen a white person at the Sloss.
Well, you only been there a couple times.
Yeah, you
maybe the days you were in there were none in there. Why would people not go in those stores?
For example, there are not a lot of white people at the garment district.
Yes, there are. What is you thinking? They're black and Latino?
Just Mexicans. I see.
Right.
Everywhere.
Well, you need to open your eyes up.
Where else you like shopping? You like shopping downtown?
I go to the malls.
Which mall? Like if these people are coming to LA for shopping for good clothes. So we talked about Sloss and Swap Meet, Zara, downtown LA. Where else?
Well, you can go down to 7th and Fig. That's where Zara is, and that's where H&M.
But there's like a couple stores there, though. That's it. Like
Macy's is right there in that right down the street from there.
Figueroa and 7th downtown, right?
Yeah, Figueroa and 7th.
By Wilshire.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you got
where the Target is.
Yeah, you got the
and California Pizza Kitchen right there. That
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Then the mall. My favorite mall is the
Grove.
The Grove in the Fairfax district. It's like Disneyland.
You like the Grove?
Yeah, it's like Disneyland.
But they don't have good stores.
Oh, they have wonderful stores.
For dressing up?
Yes.
Like what?
When's the last time
have you been to
there?
the Grove? Yes, one time. I thought Grove was just restaurants and movie theater.
No, you got
like
farmers market.
Farmers
markets there, but you got that's where what's the hip hop singers' clothes are?
You mean
the light skinned Canadian guy?
Drake.
Drake has a big
OVO stores there.
Yeah, Zara's there, H&M's, all of them are there.
Have you been to the Grove, Kawan?
Yeah.
Deliver food? No.
With my mom. Yeah. It's like Disneyland. They got a train that rides through.
I remember
you remember that?
Yeah. The night Grove. The Grove is very beautiful. It's like 3 floors.
Yeah. And then I go to Century City, West something Plaza.
The Westview. That's what I told you about.
Yeah.
On Santa Monica Boulevard, right?
Yeah. I used to walk across the street from it.
Really? Let me see. It's called the Westview Mall. No, Century City
Mall. Yeah.
Century City Mall.
And then everybody goes to the one in.
It's called Westfield Century City. That's where the Italian market I told you about. You will love it. You will love it.
They got nice shops in there, nice food, and then Beverly Center.
So Beverly Center, what's closer?
Beverly Center is right on La Cienega.
No, but what's closer to us? Beverly Center is closer to us than Century City,
Torrance
Westfield.
Malls. I mean,
No. From like, what's further away, Westfield or Beverly Center?
Westview is in Century City. It's further than.
It's further down than Beverly Center.
Further west,
Okay.
yeah. But all of them are nice.
And the richest mall here is South Coast Plaza, right? Orange County.
Yeah.
And you don't like that? You don't like going out there?
No. I've been out there a couple times. I mean, there's no big thing to me about.
You told me to avoid going out there because too many white people.
Oh, Ryan, I did not tell you that. Why would I tell you something like that?
You told me to avoid Torrance, avoid Orange County because of the Republic.
I said Torrance, not the mall.
Torrance police is racist, right?
Used to be, yeah.
Is that where they got Ronnie King? Was it down here?
No. That was not down this area.
Where?
I forgot where that was. That was over on Normandy.
No, it wasn't a freeway.
Oh, you talking about when they...
Yeah, when Ronnie King got caught by the police.
Oh, I don't remember. I was there. I mean,
Which freeway? Ronnie King. 210 Foothill Freeway, San Fernando Valley. Early morning of Sunday, March 3rd, 1991. Wow. Ronnie King beating was in 1991, and like the riots were the year after. Oh, because they got acquitted, right? The officers got acquitted, people who rioted.
That's why the riot was, yeah.
So the riots were in South Central, Pico Union, and Koreatown. What's Pico Union?
Pico Union is Mexican area.
Okay.
Near downtown.
Closer to our old house?
It's east.
Oh, it's east of our old house.
Yeah.
That's Pico Union.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see if anybody else sent us money. You got LivePix, Kawan? Nope. All right. It's been 1 hour of our first episode of the Papa G podcast. Grant, say bye to your fans. It's been an hour already.
Well, I hope
Do you like this experience of talking on a radio show?
I don't like to talk live.
You don't like talking
No,
live?
I don't like talking live. I don't like to deal with the money stuff.
Okay, so when people send you money well, next time we won't do live.
Yeah,
We'll do pre-recorded.
Yeah, I'm not into.
But that's how we make money. We go live and people send us money to ask questions.
That's how you make money.
Well, I make money somewhere else, but like.
Well, yeah, but that's one of your ventures. Yeah, but
you don't like
no.
going live on TV and having people send you money.
My conversation is people. I'm telling people what happened in my life.
So we'll
pivot.
pivot. Next time we'll do a pre-recorded show.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll talk more about like people. What should we talk about in the next show? Next Papa G podcast. Any subjects? Assuntos para eu conversar no próximo Papa G podcast. O que você quer saber do Papa Grant? Let's see. They're talking about Georgia.
What about Georgia?
I have no idea. Just about the rocks in Georgia.
That's where Trump's trial is Georgia.
Women. Pessoal, qual o tópico que você quer que a gente fale no próximo programa? Coloca aí no chat. They want us to talk about the decline of California. They want us to talk about NRA. They want us to talk about your youth years in Detroit and Motown. So we can talk about that. Talk about being a pimp. They think you're a pimp because of the way you dress.
About what?
Pimp. They think you're a pimp because of the way you dress.
No.
They're saying you look like Samuel L. Jackson and Morgan Freeman.
Well, now they don't. They used to call me Barry White.
Oh, Blaireau.
Barry, no, not White, but Barry.
Hey, I got a funny one. This guy named Blaireau sent us $2. He said, even though I'm illegal in America, I prefer Trump times. This guy is illegal. He prefers Trump.
When Trump gets in, he'll
He'll get kicked out. Yeah,
Send
yeah.
him right back to wherever he lives.
They want to hear about your experience in the Vietnam War. They want to hear about how racist was the 1960s. People think it was racist everywhere. They don't know that, like in the North, in Detroit, it was not segregated, right? Did you have black bathrooms and white bathrooms? No. See, in
that's
Detroit.
the only thing that was different.
Oh, it was racist in the North too.
Of
in
course
Detroit.
it was. You couldn't go to restaurants if you're black.
No. Even if you had money to pay.
Even you had money. Well, if you had money, big money to pay, yeah, they would take you in. But I mean, when I was
like
a kid,
nowadays,
there was a couple of restaurants we went. I told you, I got kicked out of McDonald's.
You did?
Yeah, because we were a mixed group, Mexican, white, and blacks from the Catholic school, and they wanted to know
That's crazy.
Yeah, they kicked us out of the McDonald's. We were eating a 25-cent hamburger. You get for 25 cents, you got a hamburger, fries, and Coke for 25 cents.
They're asking. They want to know about what you think of military defense spending in America. What do you think? Why America spends so much money in defense and not on their own people? That's another topic for another. Because people want to learn about that. They want to know about Pele, but you don't know about Pele. Pele came to play soccer here. You don't remember that, right?
Oh, I don't know who that is.
He doesn't even know. Ele não sabe nem quem é o Pelé. You don't know who Pele, the black player, no.
You know Pelé?
Play for what?
No, it's like the greatest soccer player ever is a black guy from Brazil.
No, I don't know.
He went to play in New
wasn't
York in
into
the
soccer.
70s.
I wasn't into soccer, so soccer hasn't been a big
Never,
American sport until now.
You never watch soccer?
In the
No,
World
we
Cup
never
with
really
me.
watched it.
Yeah.
I never watched it until Ryan came and he was playing soccer, and I started watching it. But
They're asking if you watch CNN.
Lightly. I watch MSNBC.
I thought you watch CNN all day. You changed now? You don't like CNN anymore? MSNBC?
MSNBC.
You prefer MSNBC over CNN?
Yeah.
Why?
CNN tries to be equal. They get a Republican on, they get a Democrat on, and they got one that, they talk about their parties, and even when there's lies and stuff like that, they try to cover it up and all that. And I mean, there's some of the announcers I do like, a few of the women announcers.
Anderson Cooper?
Anderson Cooper I've always liked, but I'm not talking about him. Anderson Cooper's always been all right in my book.
Campbell Hall?
Who?
You know who Campbell Hall is?
No. There's two new black ladies that they have on there that are really good.
Yeah.
But
you still prefer MSNBC?
MSNBC, number one.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got two.
So CNN is more left and MSNBC is more center.
No, MSNBC tells it like it is.
That's the truth.
Yes.
And Fox News is fake news.
Fox News is, I mean, it's it's fake news.
You don't like Fox News.
Let's just put it like this.
Pessoal, Fox News é a Jovem Pan americana.
I mean, have you ever looked at it? I mean, I got a subscription to it. I turn it on every so often.
You do?
To see what they're going. Well, when something happens in the United States, and I turn it on to look at it, and they're laughing about Biden's son. I mean, they're all into that stuff, They're not talking about what's happening out there in the real world, and the people that are listening to it, they enjoy it because it's like a fun theory, But when I look at news, I look to see what's going on in the country. And Rachel Maddow, number one.
You don't like Rachel Maddow?
She's excellent. No, she's the best. They hate her.
They hate her?
Oh, they hate her because she's...
Is that CNN or MSNBC?
MSNBC.
Okay.
They got a good group of people there.
Now it's time for you to say bye to the people who follow you and...
Well, thank you, everybody. hopefully the next one will be a little more organized. And I'll argue with Ryan about his thoughts about stuff. You can see
It's
what
a
we
debate.
we go through. It's no debate. I mean, you say. I mean, I can understand some. I mean, when your people write to me and say, you know, you seem like a nice guy. You're so different than Ryan. You know, why does he lie? And I say to them, you know, well, tell me what he lies about. And then they tell me what it was, and what they told me, it was true.
Exactly.
And so I wrote them back and said, you know, that did happen. You know, so I don't know what you tell them, and because I don't speak your language.
No, they're just racist.
Well, people are people. They're going to make comments. You know.
Yeah.
And I mean, you get kicked every which way, but you know what? Like I tell you, when you fall down, you get back up. You shake it off and keep on moving forward.
Yeah.
Because you have been following your dream for a long, long time.
Yeah.
And your dream, now you got a baby girl.
Yeah.
You know, so that's part of your dream, you know. So you got a lot to be happy for.
Right.
You know, and yes, there are haters out there.
There are a lot of haters.
And I don't even go on what's
on Instagram. You don't go to Instagram that much. Twitter,
I don't even use it all.
You don't like Twitter?
Twitter is just, to me, is a waste of time, because
Twitter is too much.
They can say whatever they want, whether it's true or not true. It's gonna go on Twitter, and why even deal with that? You know,
Right.
If you really want to know something true, you got to figure out what media you can really listen to that's telling the truth, because there's so many lies out there. I mean, when I look at the Trump campaign, you know, I do watch it, and I look at the people in the audience, and I'm saying, well, where are you following those people at? Because they got little signs up, blacks for Trump, and I'm thinking to myself, boy, they really put on a show for this, because that's all show. It's like you're developing a show and you put your best out there, you know, and so they can believe it if they want to, but like I say, when 2024 comes, do you want your democracy or do you want something else? And I don't think nobody wants a dictator in the White House. Nobody wants it. Immigrants don't want it. Most people don't want it. And why would you want a dictator that can't even take care of his own stuff?
Right.
I mean, it's kind of sad, but you know, I mean, but everybody has the right to vote for who they want to vote for. But just remember the consequences, that what you get, what you see is not what you always get. You know, and so.
Okay. Pessoal, muito obrigado por estarem aqui. We had a peak of 140 people at the same time watching it. Muito obrigado, até a próxima. Tamo junto e só o começo. Say bye.
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 See you next time.
See you next time. Grandpa Grant.
Yeah.
Now you're grandpa.
The new grandpa.
New grandpa.
Yeah.